Islam, Mr. Elon, sorry, Elon, Islam. I'm here. I'm running Bay. I'm here with my son, Imani Gray Bay. We're still at Apple Suites. It is August the 8th, 2024. I just got off work. So I'm like fiddling with my hair because I'm trying to look decent on camera. But sometimes it doesn't really matter to me. So, but at this point, I was trying to, yeah. So anyway, Islam. Um, it is August the 8th, 2024. I'm still at Apple Suites. Money is over there. He's on the bed. Um, Mr. Elon, or Elon. I'm going to say Elon. I'm just saying Elon. So um, I'm very, very tired. I'm thankful to be working two jobs. Our employer, have two employers. But it has been a challenge because the same energy is still around the room. And I'm thankful to have a room here. Let me say that I'm very thankful to have a room here at Apple Suites. But I'm still hearing feedback, and the same feedback of African American, Black, Negro, male and female, and Spanish speaking, and also pale skin too, but definitely Spanish accents, male accents, that frequency. And they keep saying predominantly it's yes, pale skin, but predominantly it's the African American, Black, Negro accent, um, male and female. And it's interesting because I can what they're using some form of technology to follow and to engage, and so is those that speak Spanish. And with the United States Navy and Army here in Annapolis, Maryland, I'm in Annapolis, Maryland, at 120 Admiral Cochrane Drive. Imani and I, we've been here at this hotel since August of 2016. With the United States military, Navy, Army, other military branches, and the police so prevalent, it is truly amazing for us to be experiencing such things, especially when it's obvious AI, humanoid robots, are involved. I mean, literally, where they're able to tamper with my tablet. I have documented going through the years. I didn't even know there was such things as AI or humanoid robots. I didn't know until I came to Annapolis and I started to experience um, my tablet and my cell phone and the electricity going out and hearing a loud crack and the noise of lightning as I'm walking. Somebody saying brother paid, definitely Black, Negro. It's been a lot of Spanish accents. And it definitely seeing the police and the military, the United States Navy, Army, the license plates, they are very prevalent driving around, hearing this frequency so out in the open, my genitals being attacked spiritually, my body sheet experiencing four sharp pains. I started experiencing four sharp pains a few months after I came here. My dreams were manipulated with Black Negro males trying to have sex with me. Not probably like a week after I got here. That's how much of an animals we are among. Pale skins, uh, gradually they start to say Mason and three. But what I gather here, not all here in Annapolis, not all African Americans in that status, not all pale skins, not all those that speak Spanish, and not all those that are connected to the United States Navy and Army and the police, but way too many are collaborating. And they are collaborating doing some form of occult, satanic rituals. We are the only Moors here in Annapolis, Elon. As far as I know, we don't only naturalized Moors here in Annapolis. So what I'm figuring out, which I have spoken about this before, is they're doing satanic rituals, AI, humanoid robots, and other laboratory experiments. That's in the Black, Negro, African American body, animal, with an animal state of mind, animal behavior, male and female, pale skins. They saying three. hearing the frequency saying three, accent saying three. She love your son, or they keep saying your son, like there was some like they have the right to breed Imani. They are literally doing satanic occult rituals, especially when I'm experiencing force sharp pains in my internal organs, my genitals, spiritually. Hearing the word Mason. Why would why would anyone think that some form of a science has to be forced upon someone? It's so, and then say she loved your son, and then you hearing a frequency follow your son around, a black Negro female accent begging, a black Negro male saying brother paid, or more males and females, Spanish accents, attacking the genitals. I can see, I hear a Spanish male accent, also my genitals are attacked, or my whole body sheath. Like illegal immigrants, Africans behaving very, very odd and suspicious from the continent of Africa. Those that imply to be Islamic or practice Islam. This is here in Annapolis. Not all. Once again, I'm not saying all, but way too many from Pakistan or India or wherever, or other places that imply to be a practitioner of Islam, behaving odd and trying to engage. Why would they be? The connection is not being under the constitutional fold, not being in the constitutional fold. They're not truly naturalized in the laws of freedom. And that includes the United States Navy, Army, and military and the police. Hearing the police, Elon, black African American males are wearing, they in full police uniform with a gun. When I walk past, hearing them when I walk past them, or they close by, saying brother, like they are standing for something, or and there's an energy as they look at me as though they have the right to engage. Black African American males hearing pale skin saying brother, as though they're trying to demonstrate some form of unity, as they say three in Mason, or three, hear the frequency of three, and definitely Mason. Not all. I'm going to keep saying this, not all, because I'm not going to say all. I try my best, but there is a collaboration of satanic rituals, occult rituals, here in Annapolis with humanoid AI and other laboratory experiments involved. I was experiencing these forced thoughts, Elon, as you demonstrated the proof about telepathy, and telepathy exists. And I've been speaking about, before I even knew who you were, because I was experiencing harm like this since I came here, and I kept speaking about telepathy. Then just so happened, I think it was 2020. When did we? I think it was 2020 or 2021. I learned of you, or what was it? It was during the pandemic. So I remember I learned about Tesla, and then eventually, and this is the truth, eventually I learned about you. I learned who you were, and then I like, okay, but I didn't think much of not didn't think much of you. I wasn't interested in knowing at the time detail about you or who you were. Okay, I was amazed that there's a guy named Elon who has an electric car in his and this name is a Tesla. It's a Tesla car. That's the brand name of the car, the vehicle. And because I already knew of the scientist Tesla. So I told you this before, my consciousness changed. So but I didn't know you. I didn't, and that wasn't, it wasn't until later, I guess maybe 20, what was it, 2020, right there, right 2022. I started to, or at 2023, because it's now 2024. So, and so what I'm trying to say is, Elon, is we are among laboratory experiments with animal thoughts and behavior. They are real beasts, animals that do satanic occult rituals using different sciences of the telepathic code. And we are the only Moors here. I mean, black, Negro, African American females that look to be around 20, 21, 22 keep saying your son as though they doing stuff to protect him, as though they have the right to protect him, and then look as though they are some type of candidate to be with Imani. Like they can actually be some form of a girlfriend to be with Imani, and they look like an aggressive manner, as though they going to, like, they can do something to harm me or him if they're not able to engage and be with Imani. Like the same way African American, black, Negro males look at me, predominantly. Okay, and then when I don't engage, then all of a sudden those that look to be from South Central America, Mexico, will start, males predominantly will start looking more like at me and engaging, pale skinned males, but predominantly those that speak Spanish, and the accents in the room, or frequency in the room, Spanish accents are more prevalent. But they have been with the black Negro. Those are the two, but there's also the pale skin. But the black Negro, African American male, and female accents will seem to be in the background, where the Spanish accents will be more prevalent, and then Imani will start making noises in his sleep, or I might experience four sharp pains in my genitals. See, he's sleeping, he's tired, then he can start making noise like this. He's asleep. He doesn't know. I wake him up. He doesn't know. He's not dreaming. And I notice more and more African American males saying your son and looking at me in an aggressive, violent manner. Like they're going to engage, or they might somehow, some of them can actually, when they speak, sound like Imani. Like they imitating and demonstrating how they could take over Imani's mind. I've had the accent say, like, Imani might be coming in from work, and he's knocking on the door here at Admiral Suites. He's knocking on the door, so I'll open the door. The accent, black Negro male, say brother. So we already know that they can force engage the body sheet. So Imani doesn't know if one of them is force engaging upon him, making him walk like an African American black male, or think like an African American black male, or even pale skin, or just have that energy of what they consider to be Masonic or 3. He doesn't know. So as soon as I open the door, Elon, the frequency say brother. And so we already know that that many of them use homosexual rituals in different forms. So they said males and females in reference to those who are on a low status, saying we Masons and 3. So these are what you would what many have said are the bottom bottom feeders. You know, they just predators, and they have a title, we a Mason. So they're predators, males and females, whether they speak Spanish from South Central America, Mexico, pale skin that claim to be from here or not. Those that come over here from Africa, from different countries of Africa, islands, whatever, Those are in the United States Navy and Army and the police. They but they are a very low status in reference to a science that they consider to be Masons. So they just bottom feeders, predators. They are really just workers who have a skill in some form of education, but their thought process is animal witchcraft, occultism behavior, animal behavior, not on a high thought process in reference to science and occult or um, esoteric, exoteric knowledge. And so that's what we are among here. That's why I experienced so many of them, whether predominantly has been African American blacks, but so many of them in forced engagement while I'm sleeping, my mental mind. Lately, since I was hired at Whole Foods, pale skins. It's like I was experiencing thoughts after I was hired at Whole Foods that they only hired thoughts by plotted thoughts. I don't know, by spirits saying they hired you because they think you're going to be a Mason. So, and if a humanoid AI lab experiment is saying they're Mason, okay, and they are doing occult rituals, and then you have others from other whatever form of lab experiments doing occult rituals, and they're saying they Masonic 3, and and they are connected. Okay, how would you so if you have a community of occult satanic Satanists who are doing different forms of occult rituals, and here I am, who have been documenting hearing the same voices or frequency in the room for years, as though they feel like they have the right, even to a point where I'm hearing the frequency say, um, "We're not leaving this room. We've been here all this time." Then hearing blacks on the physical plane start speaking about how they've been waiting, and how I'll out of a sudden look my way, or after they say he FUCKU or whatever, and say we've been waiting for a long time. Even pale skins now say it more than usual. We've been waiting for a long time. We're not leaving the room. And then as I'm looking for an apartment, actually hearing the frequency saying we're going to move, or we're going to go to the apartment too. We're going to follow her. We're going to follow her in Imani. She love your son. And then as the frequency keeps saying she love your son, as though I'm a threat of her being able to possess or be with Imani, I would start experiencing 4 sharp pains, maybe close to my heart, my genitals. I've experienced this with black males being close around me. All of a sudden experience 4 sharp pains in my chest. I'm saying these are adult black males over 40 years old. Not elderly, but yes, some elderly, even pale skins too, but predominantly African black males. They say brother, maybe a police officer driving by, and I experienced 4 sharp pains. I want you to think about this, Elon. I still am in communication with our Moorish American nation, the Moorish American National Republic. I hope you connect with them. But I'm not upset. I'm just right now, this is the first video. I just want to speak about this, and then I'm going to do part 2. It's what I would say, Elon, is it's important for us to separate ourselves through thoughts, words, and deeds from these unclean spirits that are animals. They don't care if they are seen and categorized as animals. They want to be an animal. They don't care. An unclean spirit. They encourage violent animal behavior. They encourage this, and then mix it up with satanic rituals. So if they doing satanic rituals, sex trafficking with these kids that are advanced, that's nothing for them. To to have, I mean, if you're a military male and and you are in a community where y'all have done different types of blood bonding of rituals, so to keep secrets or whatever, why would you feel threatened about how many kids you have had sex with, or a police officer? Why would a police officer feel threatened about anyone speaking about how many kids they have had sex with, or someone who is in some form of authority? Why would they? It's these kids or children that also are considered to be advanced because they are able to have the telepathic code. And if you have been in a community that encouraged this behavior, you wouldn't see is you might say this is my culture to pimp my child to an adult because they're advanced anyway. They think like adults we anyway, right? So why not let their first sexual experience be with a brother or werewolf, so they can think they're werewolves, they're in a pack. They might even have dog DNA mixed with them. They might. Or bird DNA or some other type of ape or beast DNA. They might, because obviously there's something wrong with blacks or any type of frequency that is stalking the room. And I know they're stalking the room, male and female, where they are violent, and I can tell that some of the blacks know and they behave in that same manner. And speaking on that, I'm just gonna say I've been working at Whole Foods. I'm seeing people come more and more into Whole Foods that come into Burger King. I didn't see them before. When I put in my application, also as I come in at 4, I mean, I'm walking. I've heard someone as I'm walking say Burger King. I'm not accusing Burger King, but this is what I experienced. I'm walking, going to work, hearing someone say Burger King. Um, I see more and more people that that I never saw before. I go to Whole Foods quite often, and I was all of a sudden when I was hired, I was like, gosh, they were like, hi, oh, you work here. I was I was like, what? Yes, I work. I gotta go. I'm busy. This one guy, he when I was applying to be a stalker, he actually came because he comes in a Burger King. He's older. He came into Whole Foods right when I was given my application to be a stalker. Stalker, STOCKER, night shift, stocking, to stock groceries. And when I walked in, I saw him, and he was just staring at me like this. Like there was something wrong with me. I mean, literally staring at me. He's a regular. He comes in the Burger King. So I know that this is a community with Burger King that store being there for over 25 years. The military being there for over 100 years. There's a community that's been here, and I can only imagine um, what is in the dark here in Annapolis. Because when I say animals, we are among some laboratory experiments that are very unclean, Elon, very unclean. And when I say laboratory, I'm not saying spiritually. I'm saying literally some lab experiments. So I didn't. So let me get back. So I didn't know why blacks were saying racist. And I mean, I was starting to put things together slowly, okay? Because I didn't, to think that we are among something else that's not like you is not too far fetched through the years. But when I came to Annapolis, as I started to document the forced engagements of predominantly African American males and females, and hearing the female and male accents in the room, the word racist kept coming out of some of their mouths. And now those that speak Spanish say it quite a bit, especially when I document or repost about what I experienced with the feathers, seeing feathers on my way back and forth to work, and hearing people say that's the Birdman, and all of a sudden those that look Spanish or speak Spanish, they're not Spanish, looking at me in their truck. Like it's like trying to induce some form of fear, mental illness. Because if you're seeing someone Birdman, you're hearing birds. Definitely, there are some type of lab birds here in Annapolis. Like there's some type of lab animals. Not all the animals are natural here. Okay, birds, squirrels. Then it can definitely cause mental illness and stress, especially if you hear the frequency in the room and you're trying to sleep and your thoughts are being invaded while you're trying to sleep. So I find it very odd I find it very odd that when I first started to hear the word racist, it was after I started to document the odd stuff that I was experiencing from the blacks. I was like, what are races? But then I realized because we're among a species of blacks. We're among a species of African Americans, species of pale skins. And they are implementing those plantation slave tactics. We are among the humanoid AI, a species. They are implementing different forms of plantation techniques, breeding. That's why they keep saying brother paid. They trying to implement that old plantation technique. Those that speak Spanish that have come over here who don't have any, not all, but don't have any respect for the Constitution. Those that are from the continent of Africa that have come over here, some of them are humanoid AI. Just those that speak Spanish from South Central America, Mexico, some of them are humanoid AI. Pakistan, some of them are humanoid AI. Pale skin, some of them are humanoid AI. So you got the black males and females. These are species of lab experiments, and they are trying to stay away from any form of the Constitution, the organic instrument, as possible. Anything that's dealing with natural law, freedom, as possible. Their goal is bondage, and they are trying to implement those old techniques, or I should say, maybe they're not that old. When I think cosmically, especially in reference to the mind. So if they can manipulate thoughts, like they evade and plot thoughts, change the way you think. If they've been studying your thoughts and your intellect for however long, and they start plotting things of what you will already do, or if you say you forget something, they plot a thought to help you remember. You wouldn't remember anyway, or learn how to remember. I would learn how to remember because that strengthens the brain. But their goal is, these humanoid lab freaks, is to make the mind dependent on them. So then they can make your thoughts, their thoughts, and your mind a home for them. So they can penetrate into those sacred energy fields. Blacks, African Americans, that are a species of lab freaks or experiments. Pale skins, and they definitely, and those that speak Spanish and others, those from the continent of Africa, they definitely are aware of reincarnation. They are. And they are definitely know and aware of how to breed. It's interesting to me because I keep saying this because Annapolis had the slave port here. They still had the slave port, and it has a history of some form of slavery happening in Annapolis, where they actually had African Americans, blacks, um, in the courthouse, their names with the animals and the beasts in the field. They weren't considered human. They were considered beasts and animals. So they put their names, they logged their names with the beasts and animals, the cows, the dogs, as property. When I would hear stories of this, because it's slavery happened everywhere, I thought that was degrading. Not taking it literally that this could be true, and the court system was actually just doing what was truthful. So Elon, what I'm speaking to you because it's it's easy to look at someone who is pale skin, and this is also going with pale skin too. Logging, they might not have been logged as a beast or animal, but definitely, they are some animals that are in the pale skin body that are mixed with something else. You don't know what it is, and so truthfully, if the court system have to log them, we'll probably put them in another category of a form of a Negro, like the African American form, some form of a Negro, an African that comes over here. Um, if they are able to see what type of code, telepathic code that has been programmed, some form of a Negro, black. They like to say black now. Many Africans like to call themselves black. Those blacks are I should say melanated from Britain people, they saying they call themselves black. They like to say they're black now. So Elon, um it's easy to, through the years before, I would say when I was like early 20s or mid 20s, 30s, to look at South Africa, and I'm still gonna say this with caution, because I don't know the experiments that went on in South Africa, but I could tell you that to know that there are foreign countries that know the experiments that have gone on over here in reference to blacks and African Americans, and those that are in natural state, natural being, Moors, we didn't know. We had no idea that we're among animals that look like us, but they are not like us. So I know, because I experienced these thoughts, that many pale skins from Germany, South Africa, Australia, Austria, they knew that there was on this landmass, that many call America, that there was some breeding of blacks that were not that were animals, pale skins, that they bred them in as animals. And then they definitely knew this was going on in South America as well, in Mexico. I know. So to but I'm just gonna stick with the African American blacks. So I definitely know that they knew this, and they knew what was going on, and they knew that the Moors that were asleep, like I was, had no idea what we were among in reference to males and females. And gradually, with the implementation of the telepathic code, a normalization, a thought of normalizing behaving like a beast, an animal, because you are supposedly more advanced, is okay. This is part one. I'll talk to you later. I just wanted to tell you, Elon, that I am thankful to work two jobs. I am. But I can tell that there's a collaboration, just like I was saying in one of my tweets. I was hearing that the police or some form of the police or United States military, the brother, some others, going to try to keep Imani and I from getting an apartment. It's like either I choose to lay down and with one of them, Imani B will lay down with one of them, or call ourselves some, or submit somehow, so, or they're gonna collaborate, and Imani and I will not have an apartment. I just found it odd to see those from Burger King coming into Whole Foods, or hearing Burger King, or the word Burger King and Whole Foods so much since I've been there. Even some of the workers, I was so surprised to see some of the co-workers that I work with at working at Whole Foods now. I've only been there for going on for a month, and I've seen some that I had no idea worked there. I mean, I've been going on a month, and I was like, this guy, anyway. Now, I've seen other coworkers that work for Whole Foods. They've been there for maybe a year. They used to work for Burger King before they worked, and then they came over to Whole Foods. I wasn't working at Whole Foods then, but this is recent. Even the guy, even the guy that I said was just looking at me when I turned in my application. He was looking at me like in a odd, very aggressive manner, as watching me, staring at me as I turned in my application. And then as I walked past him, I felt a sharp pain. Then maybe a few days after that, or a week after that, he was when I went to do my orientation, he was in there doing his orientation, and he comes in the Burger King. He's a regular customer.